Oh, hi there. It's Monday and start of a new week. Another inconsistent week, I think it will be, but going to do my best and see how things go. Wonder is my stream slow, stuttering a bit? We'll see. Yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna play some 10-minute games. Nothing major. Maybe if we get some discussion going, we'll have some talk. I have no topics, however, and it feels like not much is happening. Things are quiet. Maybe it's that way in the summer. I think it was last year as well, where things are generally pretty quiet in the shogi world. Generally pretty quiet in the chess world as well. So we don't have even chess stuff to talk about. Hey, Numblaze, nice to see you. It's getting warmer out here, but I still have my green tea with honey, as ShogiExplained had recommended. It does seem to work a bit for the throat, keeping the throat not so sore. But anyway, let's get into some games. Last time I streamed, did pretty well. We'll see if I can keep it up. Got the BGM on today.
あなたが先手です。
Okay, Hironachi, よろしくお願いします。
嬉野流。
I think he's gonna drop the pawn. Oh, okay, he's not. Fun line. So he moves to the side. I come up. He brings the gold up. I don't remember quite what I do. Ooh. I think we do this, right? What is... Wow. Okay. 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 So, drop my lance. If he drops the pawn, takes, or takes. Okay. Silver drop. Oh boy. Okay. Hey, Emperor Rex. Hello. Can't remember. I cannot remember how to pronounce that name. Cannot. Let's see. Guarding the gold with my dragon. Okay. What do I want to do? Night drop here? Check. Let's check.
$7 分
Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. Did not see that. Did not see that. Did not see that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. Silver here. What if I take the knight? Is that mate? Is that Sumero? I think it is. Okay.
5分
Also Sumero now. Okay. Silver. He takes pawn. He takes oh boy. Wait, it's not Sumero. It takes. He could I take. He comes back. Silver. He takes. I take. No, silver. He runs. Do I have mate? Ooh. Okay. Oh shoot. Oh gosh. Is that? It is. It is. Okay. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I convinced myself it wasn't for a second. All right. Ooh. A good start. A good start with a spicy game.
Is one win.
Boy. Okay. Oh, so I'm gonna look. So this is Yakiru mo. No, Yakiru. Yakiimo at Shogi Gekijo, the Shogi Theater. Roasted sweet potatoes. Nice to see you. Can you? Yeah. You want to play? Let's play on Shogi Wars. I'll 10 minutes. I'll give it my best. 10 minutes, 10 seconds. Do you have a preference? Oh, I don't think I changed my scene that entire game. 10 seconds? Okay. So here we go. 70526.
あなたが先手です。
Alright.
対局開始。
よろしくお願いします。
1、2、嬉野流。1、
あ
1、2、
I'll have to add you to my friends list.
1、1、1、1、
Oh. Oh. Is this possibly a duck? No.
1、1、2、1、1、1、 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。
Interesting.
1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。
I think I could have taken...
1、
Ah.
2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。 1、
Definitely an interesting spot.
1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。
Strange position.
1、 1、2、3、4、5、6、
Ah.
7、8、9。
All right. You know, I could have taken that one.
3、4、5、6、7、8、9。 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。
Ah. Just not enough time.
1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。
Not enough time.
1
Okay.
1
Yeah, that's a sniper.
1 2
Do I
3
have mate on this side?
5 6 7
I could have just brought my dragon over.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9
Oh boy.
2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5
So blocking this, attacking this.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9
Hmm.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9
So what am I gonna do? Oh boy.
2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9
I think I could have dropped a bishop. Okay.
2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9
Tough spot.
It's-
Ooh.
2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Shoot.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9
Okay, so how can I...
1
Wow.
2 3 4
Hey, Todovsky, thank you for the raid. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9
All right.
1 2 3 4 5
So it's the same here. Arigatou gozaimashita.
勉強の成果が出てましたね。
Okay. I think so. So there were a couple moments. There were a couple moments. Thank you very much for the game. I think I got lucky. I think I got lucky. Did I not change my stream again? Did I not change my stream again? So the where was the this move felt, yeah, I wonder about this one. You know, definitely protecting here. I'm surprised. I'm surprised because I don't think I've ever seen someone play this against me. But I don't know how other people defend that. Maybe they what's another normal way to defend this? Coming in like that? Tobio1. Greetings. Welcome to the channel. Nice to see you. Killer Ducky, I missed that. I missed your message. Hello. If you're still there, I'm sorry I didn't see. The free gold. I wonder where that was. I wonder if that was in the top corner. In the top corner, I had the gold. I had the gold because, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to give up my rook. I didn't want to give up my rook. It is. Well, the rook is defended, but I didn't want to exchange my rook for a bishop. I got too greedy. I got too greedy on that. So where is that? Yeah. So here I didn't want to. You know, this is you know, if it would have come with check, it would have, I would have obviously taken. You know, this comes with check. Yeah, in hindsight, it does seem, in hindsight, it seems awfully good. That said, what am I going to, how am I going to mate? How am I going to mate? Sorry. So do I go for this? You know, if he takes, then I get this. No, we don't need to calculate checkmate. It's just, you're right. You're right. You're totally right. You're totally right. I have so much trouble. I have so much trouble mating. So even with dragons, as you saw in the game, even with dragons, I have so much difficulty. So I do. So you know, there are moments I pick and choose my moments. I pick and choose my moments, and you know, often I will do it. You know, definitely often I will do it. But in these situations, I have so much trouble checkmating the king that is running to the left. Especially even with the dragon, like even with two dragons. That I've got to get better. Winning a gold means you're up 2 generals. Oh, I see what you mean. That's a really good way to say it. Yeah, winning a general means I now have 2 more generals. Yeah. But you know, my king safety is not the greatest. I guess with another general I could always defend more. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. You're definitely right. My only defense is that I could say is that I did see it. Not defense. The only my baby step to doing the right thing is at least seeing it first. So I did see it. I chose not to because I was a coward. Yeah, and so it's not only a gold, it's also I now have a token, which is another sort of big consideration. So anyway, let's get in here. This was a 0.1 second move remaining. You barely understand English, but you like my stream. Well, thank you. That's so nice of you to say. I hope that I hope that in some way it helps your English in some small way. I have had are you Japanese? Because I've had a good number of Japanese viewers who have said that they watch the stream because they like shogi, but also because they are learning English. They're working on their English, which when I started streaming, I never thought that was even a possibility. So, enough people have said that I'm just so pleased about it. And you too. Yeah. What that's and that's let me just read that again. Yaki imo. It's sweet roasted potatoes? Roasted sweet potatoes. Are yaki imo the potatoes from Okinawa? I think I might have asked this in the past. We out here at our local Japanese grocery store, they will often have Okinawa sweet potatoes. They're expensive, but they're so good. And we saw some television show that had talked about how Okinawa people are very healthy in large part because of these potatoes. I take all that with a grain of salt. I don't know if any of that is true. And my understanding is that since that TV show was made 5 or so years ago, that Okinawa is not as healthy as it used to be, the Okinawa citizens. But anyway, I still love the potatoes. The Okinawa sweet potatoes, they're not as purple as the murasaki. Or are they purple at all? I don't remember the color. Anyway, let's try another game. Oh, I'll track that
あな
one.
たが先手です。
Tudan.
Current
Thank
streak
you,
is 2
Kaishi.
wins.
Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
嬉野流。
You're going to bed? Okay. Yeah, let's do it again. Thank you so much for the game. That was real fun. And, thank you for your nice comments. Have a great night. This Nidon is very fast. Oh, what are we... Are we going to get... No, we're not. Ah. Is that rook trapped? No. Hmm. Wow. Woo! Do I have mate if I take? If I take...
7分
What about bishop drop? Bishop drop? No, 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 no. Wow. Bishop drop. Silver. What about silver? Bishop drop? Wow. Bishop. Whoa. I could drop a silver here. Drop a pawn here.
$5 分
I don't see it. Okay. Silver. Or what? Horse?
完璧な将棋でした。
Win. Current streak is 3 wins.
Oh, goodness. Hey, Transport. Nice to see you. Yeah, I wish. I wish. That was... What happened there? Yeah, Carmike, nice to see you. I agree. Hey, Gabrielle, great to see you. Been a while. It feels like it's been a while. Have I not switched my stream once to the playing scene? Have I been stuck on this scene the entire time? My streaming muscles are gone. All right, so yeah. Yeah, that one transport, this whole sequence felt very odd. I don't see two Dons playing like this, but we take those as the kids who are probably now adults at this point would say, we take those. You're coming back home during the stream, so it's harder to watch now. Ah, okay, that makes sense. How long is your commute? So was this okay? So my other option, I don't think so. So coming back to the stream, I'm not speaking through my ideas as much as I think I used to. Maybe that's why I'm playing better since since I've been coming back. Maybe that's why I've been playing better. Um, but what am I trying to say? My other option here. My other option, I think, was this. But I just I didn't like this response. I didn't this is why I discarded this one. But is that mate? Yeah, that is mate. That is mate. Yeah, Koshiro definitely is, but Koshiro could be talking and looking out the window, and he would still be incredible. Usually it takes you 2.5 hours when you're coming back. Oh man, oh man. So in my mind, I thought I'd asked this. I had asked this question before, and I thought you had said something like an hour and a half to 2 hours, which is what my commute used to be like each way when I was working at Groupon, and I was living in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, and I had to either drive in or take a train and then a bus. That was a 2 hour each way commute, and boy, that was not a great time. That was not a great time in my that was so when I was actually at Groupon for, I think it was less than 3 months, and that's fortunately when Apple had contacted me. And I don't think I would have been able to stay much longer for that commute. It's brutal. But obviously, you're doing this. This is your summer internship, correct? Transport, no joke. Those are the questions I was asking myself. Like what am I doing here with this commute? At least when I was on the train, I was able to sort of, that was before the days of ubiquitous, like that was way before the days, I think, of having like good network access. So I'd be reading or trying to read, like so when I took the train, I was able to, which was about an hour in. So I had to drive to the train, take the train for about an hour. You drive to the train, wait for the train, take the train for an hour, walk through Union Station to the outside, wait for a bus, get on the bus, and that bus, I don't know how long that took, and then that got us into the place where Groupon was. So really only during the train portion could I read or do something. But the thing was, in the morning I could read, but coming back home, I'm just so drained that I couldn't read. So it's just like just sitting there, and it's tough. But I had a relatively young, two youngish kids at the time. I had a family to provide for, and I did like the work for the most part. So it's real tough. It was real tough. But that my ability to jump ship to Apple couldn't have come at a better time. And when we moved out here, that was one of the things I said, is that I will be within a 5-minute drive of where I work. And I was for the first couple years. Then we moved buildings, and anyway, the longest commute became 20 minutes of a drive, and for it was like 3 or 4 years while I was working, but much better, much better. For the last few years that I had been working, it was probably like a 6-minute drive, which was fantastic, and parking was right outside the building. It was awesome. But anyway. So I think this, long story short, I think this works. Or does it? Does it? Does it? Yeah, I mean, if he drops the silver, we saw it works. You played 5 over-the-board games against Koshiro on Saturday? Wait, what is this? What is this? What happened? What happened? Was this a club meet? Was this a club meetup? Because that's not a tournament. I played only 2 over the board games yesterday. They were both long games. I think I played very well in both of them for the most part, and I lost both of them. My opponent is very strong. My regular opponent is very strong, and but I played well. I played well, but in the second game, I don't think I actually even got into Yose. It was yeah, it was tough. It was tough. I think I was defending well. I was making things difficult. It feels a bit like my defense has leveled up slightly, but in leveling up that defense, it feels like maybe my offense is a little rough. Oh, okay. So they usually make some workshops Saturday, but most people play Mahjong. Is that every Saturday? So is Koshiro playing over the board like Mahjong or Shogi every week? That's awesome if so. Um, I've been playing a lot of 3-minute games on Shogi Wars off stream. If we look, I'm sort of I'm sort of, while trying not to, I'm getting closer to ranking up in 3 minutes. Like I said, I like being 3Q in 3 minutes. I had no choice until recently. Just because I when I stream it, I'm so bad playing 3-minute. But off stream, I'm doing really well, and the games I'm losing, the games I'm losing. Often I've got the winning position, and my opponent had 3 seconds left, and I had no seconds left. But I'm playing well. But the thing is, I use like I said, I think yesterday, or it's like I said on Friday, I use 3 minutes as my time control to win streak avatars. Tobio, thank you. You'll be back. Thank you so much for that. Enjoy your sleep. Thanks for stopping by at all. And yeah, have a great night. Great night. Okay, so Koshiro goes almost every Saturday. You don't know. It's there every Saturday. You don't know how often he goes. Okay. And you don't go because it's far? Is that you don't go every week because it's far? Is that it? It's interesting to me that was it just the 2 of you playing shogi? Because 5 games is a lot of games to play against the same person. The most I have ever played against the same person is 3 games. I don't think we've ever played 4 in one sitting. This player that I play on Sundays, we have often, especially when we were using clocks and playing 10 minutes with 40-second Byoyomi, we would get in 3 games. Lately we've been playing untimed, so we've had 1 or 2 games a week and not much more. But they are, if the engine analysis is to be believed, they are higher quality games. Usually, on average, they're higher quality games than when we played with clocks. But as a result, it's already very difficult for me to win games against him. Like I think I've said before, I probably win I win somewhere between 10 and 20% of our games, probably closer to 15% of our games. So I do not win many of these games, but without clocks, it's even more difficult. Okay, so do you play Mahjong at all, Gabrielle? Do you play Mahjong at all? I would like to try over the board. Obviously, I'm still just learning how to play at all. And I wouldn't want to sort of slow a game. If people are getting together to play Mahjong, I'd rather not slow them down with my, pitiful play. Hey, Skykeeper, nice to see you. But 5 games is a lot. Wait, were you playing with a clock? Sabi, good to see you. Yes, I play over the board every Sunday morning. I have been doing this for, I think it's close to 3 years. It will be close to 3 years. I have been playing every Sunday morning. Obviously, some weekends, like this coming weekend, I will not be playing. But it's rare that I don't go, when life gets in the way. But yeah, for this East Bay Shogi Club, I play every week, and then every Tuesday night there is a club that's closer to me. So that club I play at on Sundays is about an hour away from me, and it's an hour drive. And but there is a club that plays every Tuesday night near me that is a 5-minute drive. But I don't like the pieces they play with, so I've stopped. I stopped going. This seems like an incredibly lame reason. Sounds like an incredibly lame reason, and it is an incredibly lame reason. But it's I am who I am. Like Popeye says, I am. Wait, no, what does he say? I am what I am. I am what I am. Okay, you don't like Mahjong, I see. No clock. Oh, okay. Okay, so you guys are not sitting there. Like some of our games yesterday, I think it's possible that I take more clock. It's hard, time is so difficult to sort of gauge when you're in the thick of it. But I thought that I think a few of our moves, we may have taken between 3 and 5 minutes on some of these moves. So we've been really thinking. And on the one of those days when we play one game in 2.5 hours, or a 2+ hour game, we're thinking some of those moves really long. Yeah. Oh, which one is the safe? Gosh, I don't know what this is. I don't know. Ooh, look at my Urashina Ryu. This is a peak of 0.85Q. This will show as Shodan when in the beginning of the game. My favorite game is the one I played against the pro. Okay. I wish I would have used her avatar. What is this? What does this say again? Thank you for the game. Torizashi and Urshi and Ryu are unique and fun strategies. Patting me on the head. Patting me on the head. At the 26th move, okay, 8-4 Hisha, 7-5 Gin was, yeah. Oh, you've been playing Sprint, so it probably helps your bad habit of not thinking much. Well, like I said, I've been playing a lot of 3-minute games on mobile, and a lot of 10-second games and 3-minute games on mobile, and I think it has sped up. It's sped up and normalized my pace a bit, I think. She must have checked the profile, you think? Maybe. Well, I did play... Wait, what was this? Did I play Torizashi against her? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't play Torizashi against her, because she played Static Rook. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. So she must have looked at the profile. Or, at the time also, at the time I played this, I think my main strategy, or, my best strategy was Torizashi. So maybe she noticed that as well. In the little blurb about me when we join. That was a fun game. It really was. So speaking of this, so the stats. Yeah, I'm out of the basement on all of these. I think this is going to rank. If I keep playing, it's going to rank up. But I have I have mixed feelings about that. Especially since the winning streak event is it's probably in the next 2 days. The Gyoku show. So I don't think I'm going to hit 150 wins in the Gyoku show. But yeah, only 1 day and 20 hours left. Yeah, if I get 150 wins, I'll get that special anime avatar and 6 Kishin analysis tickets instead of just the normal anime avatar and 4 Kishin tickets. Yeah, you say Frogman is out of the Shodan basement too. Yeah, so the thing is, he's good, but like it's that Elo hell. There's so many good players that are Shodan. There's so many, in my opinion, there's so many really good players that are like underrated. And so even someone who's really good like him, you can lose some games. And if he's only playing 3 games a day, it's tough to recover from a streak. This thing, what is 5,000 here? What is 5,000? Oops. Hey Rico, how do you always show up to streams during a Shogi Wars Showdown F2P? well, I'm not ranting. I like the rating system, but it does feel like there is that that wall. It's real. It's real tough. There's some very strong players, and you need some luck. And then if you're only playing those 3 games a day, it's tough. Oh wait, what happened? Wait, Gabrielle, what happened? You got sad some events ago that one of the avatars was Yoshike Ryoma. Wait, you couldn't get it because of premium? Wait. Why is that? I didn't think there was any gate on premium. Oh, because you needed to play more games. So to win that second avatar? To win that second avatar, what do you need? You've got to be at least 4 Dan. Yeah, you wouldn't have enough games. That makes sense. Yeah. Oh, I would scroll back, but I don't know how many things I clicked. I saw someone with a Hana Wada Hana avatar. Not many people use that. Okay, so where are we? I wish there was an easy way to see this. Okay. So top 5,000 is 4.35 Dan. So that's probably going to slightly increase, or maybe not. Maybe not. But it's so around 4.35 Dan to get this avatar award. I don't know who this is, but like I'll never be able to get that. I will never be able to get that. It's really unfortunate. I'm never going to be realistically. I am never going to be at 4.5 Dan. In theory, I guess I would. You could peak in the event at 4.5 Dan if you're only 3 Dan, but realistically, like. Obviously, I'm going to try, but am I ever going to be 3 Dan Shogi Wars? I'd be ecstatic, but it doesn't seem that that's in the crystal ball. Okay, so who is this? Is that Mayu? Miyu. Mizumachi Miyu. Female Shodan. What's her story? As of May 1st, 2018, she is a female shogi player for second Q. She honed her skills as a member of the first class of Kyushu training. Okay. Oh, she was a not Kenkusei. What? Oh my gosh, I can't remember the word. What's the word? The Arpan Agarwal. Greetings. You say, can I please do a video on how I learned shogi and what my advice would be to new players going by your hindsight and your own journey? Yeah, I think I will probably do that. Well, so that's a podcast that is on my list of things to talk about on my podcast. So I'm building up a list of topics for podcasts. I still haven't pulled the trigger on it. Obviously, to anyone who's heard this before, I haven't yet pulled the trigger on doing it. Because it does, it is a commitment. To me, it's a commitment to do at least, I would want to do at least 6 months of weekly podcast episodes. Some of those would be me talking. Some of them would be interviews. But I would want to have that lined up just so that I wouldn't want it to be a podcast that would just come and go. And like there are a few of those that they do 8 episodes or whatever, and it's starting to get good, and then all of a sudden never do you hear from them again. Yeah, speaking of the learning though, I will give this nice introduction that fellow streamer Killer Ducky has put together, and he's right here in the Twitch chat. I'm trying to put it in the Twitch. This is to me it's a real good start of how to get a real good intro of how to get started. Every time someone mentions getting started in shogi, I pretty much paste this thing. I like it a lot, but spoiler alert. My advice is going to be to find the fun in the game, and everything else will just sort of flow from that. So, don't get hung up, as much as I do get hung up on ratings and things like that. Try your best, find the fun, play a bunch of styles as you start out, and look for over the board events. Over the board clubs if possible. So I mentioned it, I don't know if you were here maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. I mentioned that I have been playing now at this same Sunday morning shogi club, over the board shogi club, for close to 3 years. And it was that club that really got me sort of hooked on shogi. And my guess is, if I wouldn't have had that club, is sort of the fun of that club, I might have just played chess, or I might have done something else, or I might not have really grasped into shogi. Trying to interview JP streamers with Genie as a translator. Oh my goodness. That's ambitious. That is really ambitious. I love the idea. I can't imagine anyone would accept though. Like why would they accept my lame request? You think they would be happy to do it? Yeah. Well, the dream in that scenario is to interview Urashino Sensei. Urashino-san. I don't know if I'm supposed to call him Sensei. That would be the dream. And I've established myself at least as a supporter, as a paying supporter of his for 5+ months now. So at least he knows Shogi Dad-san. So maybe that will be it. That's a good idea. I will definitely put that in. It hadn't even occurred to me, because I'm so my initial sort of thinking on the format is that I'm going to do my thinking is 3 episodes, just me, with different topics. The 4th episode, either whether it's the 3rd or the 4th, it remains to be seen, would be an interview where I am interviewing myself, just so that other people who might be interested in being interviewed would get a sense of what they'd be in for in an interview. You just and maybe try to build some interest that way. But hey, Tulip, nice to see you. Well, Urashino Ryu channel guy is more of a stock guy, yes, yeah. But Urashino-san himself, he might do it. He might do it. Because it would be, well, like I said, because I am a supporter of his, and because it would be me gushing about Urashino Ryu. I just hope that Idrino Shogi would impart enough enthusiasm for Urashino Ryu. Yeah. So there's Urashino Ryu channel, which he uploads every day. He has uploaded every day for as long as I have been following him. I don't think he has had a gap. Maybe he just has it scheduled, because I know when he promoted to 5 Dan, he still had like a week or two of 4 Dan games that were being uploaded after. So I think he just builds a batch of them and then schedules these things. But he does his thing, and then Urashino Sensei, Urashino, Riki Sen Shogi is his Shogi Wars username. He streams as well in 360p, I think. It's super low res, but he's very strong. He's not that Urashino Ryu channel is not strong, but what is there it is. 6 Dan in 10 minutes, 7 Dan in 3 minutes. Oh, he's 7 Dan in sprint now. Wow. Yeah, 6 Dan in 10 seconds. He's a god. He's incredible. He's just incredible. Arpon, you say, yes, thank you. You like the channel because of the free flow I have in the streams. I'm uniquely positioned as a casual, non-Japanese, non-professional shogi player. That would be very relatable. Well, I hope so. I hope so. I would like to be professional. I would love to get some of those YouTube bucks as soon as I get enough subscribers. I would love to give some of those YouTube cents. Because I am doing this essentially, even though today's stream will be short and the next 2 weeks are going to be very infrequent. For family reasons, as I mentioned, that's why last week was hit or miss. Long story short, if you haven't seen the previous streams, that my daughter graduated from college, and now we'll also be going to grad school and things like that. So we've got this 2 to 3 week period where my schedule is. Basically, we're trying to make every moment last while she's still here and before she really flies the coop. Google AdSense, yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah, so I have professional wise, what makes a professional? Is it the number of hours that someone puts in? Is it I have had I've had literally tens of dollars donated to me. A couple tens of dollars donated. So does that make me a professional? I would say yes. I would say yes. Gabrielle, you're going to try to start a Shogi Wars speed run with a new account playing Furibisha after TTM. Also planning a Tsume Shogi and Yose video that you hope can help beginners. That's awesome. Yeah, I love your videos because your style is fun. Your style, even if it's not always the style that I play, the openings I play, your style is fun to watch, in my opinion, anyway. Yeah, Tulip supports me. You have a friend who got $5 once from playing a game and jokingly considers themselves a pro player because of it. Yes. Okay, so I am not the only person who makes this joke. Good. So I guess that elevates it out of joke and into fact. I think. Oh man. Oh, his double swinging rook now. Oh, his double swinging rook has taken over his Urashino Ryu. The inventor of Urashino Ryu. His best tactic is now double swinging rook. This is how he plays against opposing rook. I don't follow his style for going against opposing rook. But this is what he does. Okay, thank you, Gabrielle. Have a great night, great remainder of the day, and thank you for stopping by. good luck, continued good luck with your work, and dealing with your commute. But yeah, so I play, and in fact, both games yesterday that I played over the board. So our games often end up, my opponent is a third file player, I am a Torizashi player. When I begin that quick engage moment by bringing the silver, let's say I'm Sente, by bringing the silver to 6-6, sort of signifying that I'm going to push the pawn and we're going to exchange bishops and whatnot. That's where he switches to opposing rook. So he goes from third file to opposing rook, and that is probably the most solid choice of how to handle that for the third file rook player, and that is what he does. But it's tough. So it's sort of like banging. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say is that Urshino Ryu channel, he does not go. He only plays Urshino Ryu and Torizashi. Like, he does not do anything else, and he tries to bring his right hand silver up through sort of the Bogeen style, up the second rank. And I tried to do that as well in both games yesterday. And we got, it might have been an exact position from Urshino Ryu channel. The video that he published on Saturday, that I watched Saturday night, just happened to be this exact opening. And so I think I probably played, the first game especially, I think that we played over the board yesterday, we played maybe got to the exact position after like move 30 or move 40 that Urshino Ryu channel had in his game, and he won his game. So he won his game. So I know that this can be won. I know that this position can be won. The engine says it's equal. Like transport, you say it's kind of a stalemate. And I have had in that position, I have had against two Dan players on Shogi Wars, I've had a Senichite from this exact position. And I was actually thinking, even though I was Sente yesterday, I was thinking I would try to go for a Senichite with my opponent. Just because we've never done a Senichite. In 3 years of playing, we've never done a Senichite. Hey, Nova SWAT, great to see you. But I don't. But he didn't play into the Senichite. He pulled back his bishop, which is an inferior move. It is slight. According to the engine, it is slightly worse than doing the Senichite. But if I remember, if this position is in fact the one that I've studied before. But either way, he didn't play the Senichite, and so I tried to attack. I don't necessarily have the skills, obviously, over Urshino Ryu channel, and Urshino Ryu channel is playing 3 minutes, so his opponents, like, especially if he's playing like a 3-down opponent, his opponent is probably playing inferior moves to my opponent, who is probably at least 2 to 3 Dan level Shogi Wars. So this is like at least, I would say, at least a 2 to 3 Dan Shogi Wars level player that I'm playing every week, and he's playing these games. We've played this position. So he knows these positions, and we're playing often without a clock. So he's able to come up with really nice ideas. So it's, in some ways, I'd say almost harder of a task for me than Urshino Ryu channel. But either way, I'm still continuing to try to bang my head against it and get good positions. And it's just, they're rough. You look at the graphs of these games. Even when I thought, even when we both thought that I had an advantage in one of the games, the engine wasn't convinced. It was just basically dead even, which was amazing because we both thought that I had trapped a silver. So anyway, You have still not looked at the engine once. Yeah, I'm certainly an engine lover. I enjoy that process of going with the engine and reviewing games after I've reviewed them kind of with my own brain a bit. You sort of, if anyone's familiar with John Bartholomew, the chess international master and famous teacher and internet teacher, he hopefully I'm paraphrasing his position correctly, is that he likes to review with his brain and then go back with the engine and see what he missed or if his ideas were correct, et cetera, et cetera. And that's generally how I try to do it. Although, I play so many games that, I confess sometimes when I'm reviewing with my brain, it's not as long. And a lot of these games that I play on Sunday that are untimed, especially the untimed ones, I think it's very difficult to review a game that you've played with very slow time controls or no time control, because it's like, I took 5 minutes on this move. I took 5 minutes. I considered these things. What am I going to see? Am I going to see, how much different am I going to see after the game? Like, how much what am I going to see that I didn't see in those 5 minutes that I sat there over the board? The 5 minutes that I spent on this one move. What am I going to see? And I think, I think I think there will be things you might see, or especially when once you get hindsight of like, this didn't work out. So was there something I missed? But it's tough. It's very time consuming. Like I said, I play a lot of games. Like most of us shogi players do. We play a lot of games, and at some point it is that trade-off. Like, do you feel you're going to get, well, one, what is your goal? Is it simply to get better, or is it to also enjoy the game? And two, there seems to be, there's no consensus on whether you get better, and it's probably different for each person. Like, do you get better by playing 2 games with light reviews? Do you get better by playing 4 games with no review? Or do you get better by playing 1 game with a relatively heavy review? Like, what is that? I think no one knows the answer. Some people might have strong feelings on it based on their own experience, but everyone is different. So I sometimes do one, I sometimes do the other. That's why I say, because you spend 3 or 4 hours on a game, then there are lines you consider but dismiss or evaluate. Oh, so you're saying that after the game you go over those lines that you misevaluated. Tulip, you're reasonably well. So I would only say that you might be reasonably confident for you, because it seems like some people. I was going to say kids, but you're also a kid compared to me. So I would say that, these kids in chess that are getting so good, or these kids in shogi, the kid I knew who's now 10 years old and was one of the best players at this U.S. Shogi Championship. He was not reviewing his games. He's playing a lot of games. He's doing a lot of tsume and hishis also, but he's not reviewing his games, and he's like a rocket, improving. Enrico, yeah, you think it changes from person to person. That's at least my position. Killer Ducky, the worst is wasting time debating micro optimizations and improvement. Yes, yeah, talking about it is the worst way to. Well, just to play devil's advocate, just to play devil's advocate, sometimes talking about these things adds to some people's enjoyment of them. And the more you enjoy it, I am a believer, and I don't think this is in any way not the norm belief. This is probably the majority view. Not that makes it right, but I don't think this. I don't think all I'm saying is I don't think I'm speaking anything novel here. Is that when you enjoy what you're doing, you will improve at it faster. So maybe talking about it is enjoyable enough that it's somehow pushing towards advancement. So maybe. Rico, I'm bringing up the chat closer so I could see it all on my view here. You have a very low amount of games played overall, but a large amount of book knowledge, and you know that doesn't work for everyone. Yes, yeah, I think that's so that's the thing. That works for some people. I want to say it works for very few people. If my sort of exhaustive chess podcast interview listening is any indication, very few people get better by studying books. But those that do, I can think of a couple. I think two. I can't remember their names, but they were both national masters that have been interviewed. So the chess podcasts I listen to, they interview people. They're interview podcasts that are like interview people from 900 or 850 chess.com. So very low, up to sometimes grandmaster, but usually peaking somewhere in the national master range. And the people who are stuck, the people who seem hard stuck at like 900 or 1,000 or 1,100, these are people who, and I'm not making fun. I'm not making fun. Everyone plays the game for a different reason, and everyone's growth is their own. And so I'm not judging. I'm not making fun. But when I'm hearing these people talk, they're like, oh, I've got this plan, and I'm going to study these, and I study these pro games, and then I do. I study pawn structures, and bear in mind, these are like 1,000 ELO people. So these are essentially what would be called beginner. Although, with rating deflation and the way chess ratings work online, I think you could be a pretty darn good player at 1,000. You're not a beginner, where a beginner means someone who just began learning and playing. You could have thousands of games and have improved along the way, and I think still be 1,000. I think. But anyway. But these people, they're like, okay, I've got this plan. I'm in Chess Punks, and I do what's that Netherlands. There's a Dutch study plan. The step method. I'm going to do the step method, or I'm doing the step method. And they're like, I'm doing the step method. I'm a member of Chess Punks. I'm reviewing pro games, and I'm studying Capablanca, and I love to review pawn structures. And it's like, oh wow, this guy is studying a lot. But he's 950 on chess.com? Like, my brain, it's just like, if they're enjoying it, great. But they have to, if they are trying to improve, I think they have to start questioning themselves. And some people don't. Like it's sometimes difficult to question your own methods, especially if other people are sort of in agreement with your methods and you're being sort of praised for them. I think that happens to a lot of chess players. But there are some people, these two national masters I can think of. They're like, yeah, I used to play. I'd play when I was getting better. I would play once a week, I'd play a game. I'd play an over the board, slow time control game. And the rest of the week, I would just be studying pro games and reading chess books and their national master. So these things, just like Rico may not be playing a lot of games, but that improvement obviously came from somewhere. It came from somewhere. Whether it's so this is another thing. Whether it's your innate sense of these games, some people just get it. Some people get these games better than others, or it is because of your study. Who knows? But I'm gonna say it probably is that study, or maybe a combination of both. I missed some messages. Tulip, you say, not even particularly thinking for you. You've seen evidence that review is essential to learning. Yeah. So essential, is the word to quibble over here. I guess, that's really it. And learning how much, because there is plenty of evidence. And I know some of these chess podcasts or chess instructors have changed their view of these types of questions based on how quickly kids are improving by playing online. Just by playing mindlessly playing Bullet, mindlessly playing Bullet and Blitz. How good these kids are actually getting at the game, and to the point where these same people now are complaining like, well, now the rating system's all messed up. I used to be 1800 or I used to be 2000, and now I don't even play anymore because I'm just going to end up playing a kid who's 1300 and he's going to steal all my points. So you have these people, you have these older players, more established players who are legitimately not playing rated events because of this rating, because kids are so good and they're so underrated. These kids might be 2000chess.com, but 1100 USCF. And, those points have to come from somewhere. And the points have to come from somewhere. And without the USCF doing something to sort of somehow prop up the existing system such that there's some meaning in it, it's just going to continue. It's going to continue. At some point, it'll hit an equilibrium, but it sounds like that equilibrium will be people who used to be 2000 level players are now going to be 1600 level players. And, whether or not that hurts the game or helps the game, who knows? But it sounds like it hurts. Because people like to see numbers go up. They don't want to see numbers go down. They want to see numbers go up. They don't want to see them go down, especially if they feel like, what? I've actually improved. I've improved and I've gone from 1900 to 1600. Like, screw this. I'm not going to spend $500 for an event, an event in some little in a hotel room, or whatever people spend on their weekend tournaments. Screw this. I'm not going to spend $1,000 or $500 or whatever to go to an event and just lose rating points to illegitimate, as far as you could say, illegitimately rated players. Like, these kids, not their fault. It's not their fault that the rating system isn't properly handling new players, but it's not the kids' fault that they're 900 when their actual skill is 1800. But like, not many people like to see themselves get punished like that. But some people even, like, at the higher levels, there is a floor in the USCF anyway. I don't know if FIDE has one, because some of these players that were interviewed, people who were like former national masters or experts or whatever, and they're like, my floor is 2000 now. I'm at the floor, but now I feel bad because a lot of these people are saying, I'm at the floor, But now I'm actually worse than the floor. So there's that side problem where as people get older, sometimes you are getting worse with time. But now you're at your floor, so now you're potentially propping up worse players. But it's ratings are tough. Ratings are tough. Ratings are tough. Hey, Oregawa Moniwa, nice to see you. Ratings are tough, and rating systems are tough, but it does feel to me like the USCF anyway, and FIDE as well, from what I can gather, could be doing better. Could be doing a lot better in bringing new and underrated players into the system. And Tulip, you say it's fun to think about it, to talk about it. Yes, and so yeah, that's my rationalization. Kodaki say we need to test improvement methodology from ground zero. To do this, you need to play a new game from scratch. How about Mahjong? Well, now I'm not from scratch because I've beaten the bots a few times. I win some of these bot games. I see at the I haven't scrolled, but I see in here, you got to go for lunch, Nova SWAT. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thanks for the discussion. You say, if I'm still streaming after you finish some lessons and eat lunch, you'll try to hit 4Q again. Oh, you're 1249 on 81 Dojo. And then tell you whether I do on stream or not. Okay, well, I don't think I will be. Because like I said, I've got these, they're going to be abbreviated streams this week, because of we're going places and we're my daughter and I and doing things like that. Going to coffee shops, and at the coffee shops, I'm usually playing Shogi Wars blitz games or bullet games, but yeah, or doing Tsume. Shang-Chi, yeah. Well, Shang-Chi, is that really from scratch? Is someone that plays chess and shogi, would Shang-Chi would that truly be from scratch? I mean, I have played some Shang-Chi and done some Shang-Chi puzzles, but I'm terrible. I'm a beginner at that game. I streamed it that one time. That beautiful game, Just Shang-Chi, it's a Steam game. It's also on the Nintendo Switch. Rico says, I think book learning mainly works if that's what you like and seek out, rather than treating it as homework. That's the key. That's definitely that's for me, that's the key for Tsume and Hishi and whatnot. Just personally, I enjoy Tsume, and I enjoy opening study, and I enjoy like the storing the Mino Castle type stuff. I enjoy those more than I enjoy doing Hishi. For whatever reason, when I have to do Hishi problems, because these so often people say, and I know some Japanese teachers like because that kid I talked about that was at the East Bay Shogi Club, like when he went back to Japan, he has a teacher, and his teacher was very, very adamant on doing lots of Hishi, and more than Tsume, doing Hishi. And so I try to do it, but those, for whatever reason, I just don't enjoy them as much. I don't enjoy doing them as much. Maybe that's why my growth is slower. That I'd rather be doing Tsume. I'd rather be doing pretty much any of the other opening study or any of the other shogi study methods than Hishi. So when I'm doing Hishi problems, it is a bit like homework. It feels like I'm doing homework. And I do think that there's improvement coming from that, but it's not the same level of improvement as if this was not even homework. It's just something I'm doing for fun. Magnus Carlsen has talked about these types of things where when he was young, his teacher wanted it gave him assignments, and he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it, or he wouldn't do it. But he's an avid reader of chess. He's an avid study. Like, he loves studying this stuff. He loves thinking about it. He loves working on it. But when it's homework, he didn't like it. So his teacher eventually adapted to deal with that. Is that, the things that Magnus likes to do are, maybe not what other people do. So anyway, yeah, anyway. And then Rico says, a lot of people who buy study books as a means to an end rather than because they like it aren't actually absorbing it because they see it as an obstacle to get better. Well said. Well said. And there's, the addition of, I think people sometimes love the idea of improvement and the idea of chasing improvement more than the real hard work of improving, because you feel like, all right, the first step to improving is to buying this book. So it's like, okay, I'm checking the checkbox. I'm doing this. I'm taking this step. I'm improving. I'm buying the book. I'm looking for the book. But then they crack the book open and, it's left on the table at page 27. At page 27, they pretty much stopped and moved on to the next book. This is like meat and potatoes interview material for chess players. Like these chess podcast interviews that I listen to, they're always talking about it, almost as like a joke. How many books do you have? How many books do you have? Oh, well, I've got 150 books. What's your most recent book? Oh, and just winning with the Vienna or something like that. And then the next question is always, how many of them have you read? And it's like 2. 2 of these books I've read fully. And even myself, the chess book that I pretty much not all my shogi books, but most of the shogi books I do finish, but I don't start a lot of them. So I have a lot that I haven't even started. So I'm like those chess players. I have bought a lot of books because of the hope that's being promised sort of by the books or by people who have read these books and have recommended them. So I buy them. And so I've got this library and I'm slowly going through them because I do enjoy playing more than I do enjoy studying. And, that's probably pretty, that's pretty common, but anyway, yeah, it's funny. It's funny. I mean, speaking of buying books, like I was one of the things that my daughter likes to do and I do as well. Like we like to go to bookstores and we like to go to libraries, and so I'll always look at the chess section. Well, especially because that if a shogi book would be there, which I know it won't, that's where the shogi book would be. So I look through I'm looking at those chess books and I'm just drooling over some of those chess books. It's like, oh man, I would love to read this. I have a bunch of chess books, but I read them. I read and enjoy them. I enjoy studying chess probably more than I enjoy studying shogi. I think a large part of that is because the chess material is just flat out better than the shogi material. Like I love Chessable. I love the chess books that I have, which have been sort of recommended and are highly praised over a long period of time. So I end up getting the good ones. So I honestly, like, I could be one of these players in chess that would just study it and enjoy it. Just enjoy the heck out of it. One of those players who would just study the game and would study the game and watch pro games. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I have gone to some chess clubs and I do like playing. I don't like playing chess online. I do like playing it over the board. I don't like playing it over the board as much as I like playing shogi over the board. I think because I'm probably better in shogi now, but online. But then again, this is one of the reasons why I started streaming back in December of 2023 is because I didn't like playing online shogi as much as I like playing over the board. So I thought that streaming would be a way to force me to play more and to get to enjoy playing online more, and it worked. I love playing online shogi. But like if we had, I would say, so shots fired at all English language material. Shots fired. Aware of the fact that I haven't improved this situation by writing anything of my own or anything, but like if we had good materials, not just better, like I think our materials they're limited and they're for the most part poor. I don't think they're very good. When you compare it to like good chess books, they're just not very good. So it's tough. It's tough. Tulip saying, funny enough, this was a big motivator for you taking Shogi seriously. You had a lot of things you wanted to test in the game you hadn't played before. Oh, and this is based on what Killer Deku was saying about starting from ground zero. Interesting. Well, that's the thing too about me, is that I'm wanting to see how high I can go or how much better I can get, because as someone who is getting, everyone is getting older. Everyone just sort of by definition of life is getting older every moment. But like as someone who's getting older, and doubting their abilities and things like that. I want to see, how much do I have left in the tank? Can I learn something new to me as an adult, as an older adult? How much better can I get? And I think it's a fun thing. It's a fun, albeit frustrating thing. And Nova Swat was saying you're one of those kids, assuming that's one of those kids that learns by playing a lot. And they're talking about the flooring. Yeah, the flooring system is kind of the way they keep equilibrium. Once you're a class player, you can't drop more Than 200 points from your peak. Yeah, so 1900s can't drop below 1700. Yeah, that's true. But 200 points is a lot. And people, especially once you cross that 2000 barrier, people dropping down to 1800 or whatever would be tough. Online chess, I don't believe has floors. I don't believe online chess. The closest to any online system I think that has floors is Shogi Wars. It's not a true floor because you can demote, but Shogi Wars does a good job of keeping a floor. I think it keeps people motivated. I think it keeps people playing. I think it keeps them motivated. Where it's like on Shogi Wars, and maybe I'm just projecting too much, but like if I hit Shodan, I love knowing that I can keep just playing and blasting out games, and I'm going to stay Shodan. I don't have to worry about like for example 81 Dojo. And I'm not saying I'm doing this. I haven't played on 81 Dojo or rated game in a while, but not because of this. But like you level up to Shodan on 81 Dojo, and then you lose 2 games in a row and you're out. You're back down into 1 queue. That's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow. It's even worse like in chess. Like you jump over it doesn't even take you 2 games. Like you say your goal is 2000, you want to be a 2000 level player. You lose 1 game after you rank up and you're back under 2000. And it's tough. You have to be willing to not care about that. And maybe that's also a reason why kids grow faster, because they don't care about those things as much or at all. They're just playing. It is nice to have titles, though. Once you get a title, you've got that title pretty much for life. Tulip saying, yeah, technically nothing is from scratch. Yes, yeah. Xiangqi would be less from scratch than other things. For what it's worth, you think you've done maybe 2 Hishi problems in your time. You don't know where to find them. Oh, there's one of the classics. I've got a few of these books, but one of the classics in English is, I would call it a Hishi book for the most part, is Ending Attack Technique 200, which is maybe the highest rated book we have in the West. That might be the book that people think of as the best English language book. I would say most people seem to say that. When people say this is the book that got me to Shodan, or this is the book that got me to 1Q, it's almost always going to be that book. First time check. So Marth. So I'm saying Marth because of the Smash Brothers character. Marthenebring. Apologies for not knowing how to pronounce that. Greetings, welcome to the channel. So you've been doing 5 puzzles each day on the Shogi, and you're 1600 today. Also been playing against Pio. Yeah, I think those are, some people definitely don't like to play against humans as much. It's harder to find honest to goodness beginners to play in Shogi as compared to like chess, where you just go to chess.com. And I don't know how good Lichess is at the bottom level, but I know that chess.com, there's a huge beginners to everything and above. It's tough to find that on Shogi. It's tough to find that on Lee Shogi especially. But so sometimes playing Pio bots is a good way. I think Pio bots are I've had a couple streams where I played Pio, did a Pio Shogi speedrun, and they're nice. They're obviously they play some very inhuman moves, but trying to win games, trying to get into the game. I think they're as good as we have in the Shogi world for leveled tiered bots. 1600 is good on the show. That's nice. Yeah, I've got. I don't know what mine is now. I think I'm at like 2400. I used to do Lee Shogi puzzles a lot more. Let me switch to my Lee Shogi scene here. I don't know if this will show it. Let me just. I guess I'll just do this view. This view might be a little easier to see things in. Okay. Yeah. So I've done close to 1500 puzzles. I'm in the 2400 ish. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but just doing and thinking about these puzzles, I think helps. I don't know how much. It seemed like so that in the chess world, like in the chess podcast world, it seemed like people used to be pretty firmly in the camp that studying tactics will improve you. And there was almost no dissent. And that like people would say that in Shogi as well. Studying doing tsume or doing tactics is the way to improve the fastest. It seems like there is either implicit or explicit pushback on that idea in the chess world that's starting to get, the pushback is starting to increase because there's a lot of mounting evidence of these adult improvers who are doing tons and tons of puzzles, myself included. Like I was 2700 puzzle rating on chess.com. I've done a bazillion puzzles because people like these puzzles, but they're not improving in the actual games all that much. So like I said, these interview podcasts that I listen to, have a wide range of players. And if these players are to be believed, that say, I'm 2500 in chess.com puzzle rating, and I do an hour of puzzles every day, but they're 1100 chess.com in terms of rapid games, or 1200, or they're 1200 USCF, which is a respectable rating, but it almost is seeming more and more like maybe that conventional wisdom that puzzles are the fast path to improvement. I'm not so sure. And in the Shogi world, obviously you don't want to make rules by the exceptions, but I'm hearing more and more people who got good at Shogi. Like, Ornolf is one of them. I don't know if Ornolf is watching. Ornolf is now 4 Dan on Shogi Wars in 3-minute games. And my understanding is that Ornolf does not do Tsume. Or, Ornolf studies the Tsume from his own games. But, he's not doing Tsume books. And he's not the only one. Rico, yeah, you need people to not ask you how many of the 80 shogi books that you've read all the way through. Yeah, it's. Oh, I see some links. I see some links from Killer Ducky. These are studies? Oh, from that list. Like this is a study. Oh, he she. Oh, this is. Oh, when Tulip was saying that you don't have many he available. Okay, so Rico's going to reverse Uno that critique and say that the shogi community needs to be better about buying. Oh boy, no. So Rico, you cannot have someone agree with you more than this. I've said this before, and I say it sort of nicely. I say it sort of. I say it with a smile on my face and with pain in my heart, but And, because I don't want to make people mad and I don't want to be making hot takes. But the shogi community is not very supportive of what it gets. And maybe what it gets is not good enough to warrant support. Like, I'm talking about, if we talk about that in context of my stream, I have never been a person that's like, effort matters. It's all about the end result. It's not about the effort. But I'm going to say, like, I have put a lot of myself and a lot of my time and a lot of hard work, believe it or not, does go into this stream. It actually does. And money has gone into it. Even if it's just a small amount of money to buy equipment and to upgrade equipment and do things like that. But the amount of support that I get is even to me, shockingly low. And the amount of support I see for some other people who are doing YouTube videos or streaming or things like that, it's like shockingly low. And meanwhile, I see, in Japan, their streamers seem to be supported pretty nicely. They're like Urshino Ryu channel, for example. I mean, obviously he's a way better player than I am. So there's that too. But he gets 1,500. It looks like he gets around 1,500 views or so. He gets around 50 likes. He has a weird like to view ratio. Why someone wouldn't like his video? Just take the fraction of a second to click the like video if you've watched it. I don't understand why people don't do, like, if he's got 1,500 people watching his video and 1,500 people watching. So when I see his numbers of views, this is within 24 hours of him publishing it. So I don't know long term, what he gets, because I am watching his video every single day. Like I've said before, it is a part of my, it is part of my daily routine. Is before I go to bed, I watch his video, his daily video of it's usually 2 or 3 games that he plays. And while I'm watching, the ad pops up. That's when I click the like. I click the like before I even watch it. I also use the like as an indicator to me that I've watched the video. But like, in the slightest way, when he had the ability to pay, YouTube calls it joining. What Twitch calls subscribing, YouTube calls joining. He took it away because he didn't feel he was giving enough value. But I disagree with him. But anyway, so I was paying with the likes and paying with some money, trying to support him because I love what he does. Same thing with Urshino Sensei. He's out there. I don't watch his content as much as I did or as much as Urshino Ryu channels. But I'm indebted to him for his opening and for his work that he's putting in. So I do join his channel. And it's like $1.99 a month. It's a very small thing. But every video of his I come across that I watch, I like. But the as Rico says, writing shogi books in English is completely unsustainable. Like, people are not buying these books. They're just not buying these books, and they're not buying these books. They're not liking these videos. Debu Show, Showa Shogi, Shogi Ramen TV. take me out of the equation. I'm just thinking about all these great content creators. Rico, Shogi House, awesome stuff. Shogi Kingdom, Muses. These are great, but they don't get many views. They don't get many views. They don't get many likes. But I know that these people are so this is not sour grapes. I am saying this honestly in the most respectful, and this is no judgment on the quality. This is no judgment on anything. Just to say, I know we have more Western shogi players than are watching these Choa Shogi, Shogi Kingdom, Shogi House, my videos, whatever. So I know we have more, because even when Shogi Harbor releases a video, even if that video, I'm trying to I'm trying in the nicest possible way to say this wasn't not a high effort video. Not a high effort. Let's just say that. It's good stuff. It's all good stuff. I love her videos. I've watched a ton of her videos. I loved her channel when she used to stream. I love everything she does in the shogi world. This is, as I said before, so much respect for her. I can't wait to meet her someday. And she's an inspiration to everybody. The leader of the Western shogi world, the first Western shogi pro. Kudos and respect galore. But like some of these videos that come out, they're not very high effort. I think admittedly not very high effort, but they get a lot of views and they get a lot of likes. And when she does stream, even if it's without camera and without mic and it's like one game or whatever, there'll be 40, 50 people watching those streams. So I know these people exist. I know that people are out there. I know that people are out there to watch shogi. There are people in the West, but they just don't come out for anything else. They don't come out for anything else. I don't know why that is. And it's very strange to me. It's very strange to me because it's hard. It's hard because I see the chess world, and it's like there's so many niches in the chess world that it seems like almost everyone that tries to get into chess, it's like seriously tries to get into chess content creation, they're doing well, or they're getting lots of support. And the books do well, not as well as they may have formerly done, but there's such a glut of books. But then, that's a good problem to have. But it just seems to me like of any community, I hate to use that word because it's a weird word the way it's sort of been co-opted by a lot of things. But of anything I have ever been a part of. Anything I've ever been a part of, the shogi, the English-speaking shogi community is the least supportive that I have ever seen. I have ever seen of any, in my long life of anything I've ever witnessed. It's not a very supportive and interested community, and I think maybe. It's understandable. The numbers are small. The way that I justify it is that I think a lot of the people who play shogi, they like. I think Go also suffers from this to a certain extent, but not as bad as the shogi world. I think a lot of the people play shogi to be different. They don't play shogi because they love shogi. They play or are part of the community because they like being a part of something different. And that's fine. They might have come to it from manga. They might have come to it from anime. They might have come to it from because they play chess, but chess is too mainstream for them, so they wanted something more unique for their personality. I think that's. I think there may be other reasons as well. So Rico's saying now that's a hot take that you don't usually speak up about, but secretly agree with. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you of all people agree, just because I respect your opinions on this so much, because you've been a part of this world, as an early leader in the sort of Western shogi thing. But it kills me when I see Debusho's videos with so few likes and so few views. It was killing me when I saw Choa Shogi and doing some real nice work and putting out a lot of effort. It was like a year ago or so, where actually I think it was a year and a half ago at this point now, I think, where Choa Shogi, I think Choa is about a 5-dan, 81 dojo, a 4 or 5-dan. So this is a very strong player making some, I would say, high quality videos. Certainly not on the level of like Agad Mator or the chess. No one is at the peak of, no one in the shogi world that's currently putting out stuff can compare to the top levels of the chess world, like in terms of their content production value. But like, there's a real money in the chess world, so it's understandable. So I see Killer Doug saying Shogi Harbor gets around 300 views per video. W2 gets around 50. Interesting. So I would have guessed that Shogi Harbor gets more than 300 per video. At least the ones that I see have thousands of views. But maybe those are only the biggest of them. But the live streams easily get 40s to 50s. And that's and those are like the live streams without camera, without mic. But anyway, Choa Shogi had been said, I'm going to release a shogi video. I'm going to release one video a month. I'm going to run one video a day. So I think it was the wind down to the year. The idea was one video every day in December, and to try to get some membership up and whatnot, putting out some really nice videos. And then after like a week or so, I want to say, that was it. Choa didn't put out any more, and didn't put out any more, I think, for maybe a year. But like every one of those videos, if I'm not mistaken, I jumped in, did the like, did a comment thanking Choa for uploading this video. But it felt like there were a few of us that were commenting, saying like, thank you, at least, thank you. Yeah, so Killer Dragon, yeah, the live stream one. So 50, yeah, I've got 10 now, and close to 10 on you. So this isn't necessarily about me. I'm a goofball. I'm in terms of shogi ability. I across Twitch and YouTube, I'm probably averaging 20 concurrent, which is way more than I ever thought I'd ever have. Quite honestly. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I see what people in the chess world get. Why should any non-pro streamer? I don't know. I mean, chess. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to compare myself or Choa Shogi to like an international master. But there are plenty of non-titled players in the chess world who make good content, or or stream and get decent numbers and get decent support. I think it's why people watch streams. Why do people watch streams? And some people just want to see the best, but some people want discussion. They want the humor of the thing, or there's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't just want a pro. But in terms of level, like Choa or Koshiro, Koshiro is. I don't know if I've heard. Koshiro is probably better than a ladies' showdown, right? He doesn't get 10 viewers in his streams. Obviously, he's speaking Portuguese, or some of the streams he is speaking English. But like there was a stream. He did like an 8-hour stream, or 8 or 9 hour stream where he tried to get 100 wins and so he's battling out. He's talking, he's interacting with the audience. He's playing incredible shogi. Like those of us like watching this thing, we almost don't deserve to see this level of shogi. He was streaming, and at some points in that video, or during that live stream, he had like 3 viewers, and I was one of them. And and so I'm watching that, thinking like, what is my now that I stream, I'm always thinking about what other streamers like what is he thinking about right now? He's in hour 7 of this gift of shogi that he's giving us. This gift, and there are 3 viewers, and I'm the only one saying GG at the end of the game. Like there's no interaction. There's watching, and it hurts. And notice he hasn't been streaming as much lately. This is one of the best players that we have in the West. And he put himself out there for us, and we're not supporting it, so it hurts. It hurts. Origamoniwa, you said this. Oh, this was over 10 minutes ago. So I'm so sorry that I didn't see this until now. You found out recently, Urshino Ryu channel was ranked in best 8 of with no professionals, the Shogi YouTubers ability ranking 2024. Oh, awesome. Is there a web page that lists those? Urshino Ryu channel is great, and he's consistent. That's so important as a content creator or streamer, is to be consistent. And I think that's probably the only reason why I have the numbers I have. Admittedly low numbers, but because I'm consistent. Yeah, Rico, you say the main thing that makes it frustrating to you is that people will always talk the talk, but then not actually give the support they say they will. Yeah, that was that. Yeah, I agree. And I don't expect everyone to be like. So the thing is, if someone in Shogi Harbor made some shogi t-shirts, just made some shogi t-shirts, and it was like, I'm trying to get something started with, we don't have enough shogi merch. I want to make some shogi merch, and they show some ideas and they do something. I'm gonna buy some of those t-shirts. And it just doesn't seem like many people have that attitude. You could my merch. Yeah, maybe they're just not nice t-shirts. I mean, I think they are, but they're just they've got. Well, I'm wearing an old prototype of this one. The Shogi Dad shirt theme. This, or the Nekobisha. They're not the greatest in the world, but they're shogi stuff. And I was buying random shogi shirts from YouTube before, and no one's buying this. In over a year now of having shop.shogidad.com, I haven't really made I haven't sold enough shirts to really even get a payout from the company yet, which means, it's like fewer than 10 shirts or hoodies or whatever have been sold. And I greatly appreciate the people who have purchased it. And I understand that not everyone has to purchase things. And, the only way to show support isn't by money. It's, likes or views or communicating and, talking and trying to build up excitement for shogi in the West. But at some point, I think it seems like every shogi content creator hits this, where it's like, they're trying, they love this game and they want to see it. They want to see the game grow. They want to see it do better. They want people to experience the enjoyment of the game, the same level that they have. But maybe they just see like, no one wants to help me. No one wants to even, help me do this. Or, and so they inevitably, they fall by the wayside. And I don't know if that's why, outside of having a child, I don't know if that's why Carolina has stopped, because, as good as her numbers are, maybe they're not as good as she would want if she's looking at the Go world or trying to compare. The current top chess stream is an NFL player. Well, there's a Denver Bronco who streams chess, and he doesn't get many. He gets like, every time I've looked into his stream, he gets like 80 views, 80 concurrent. Obviously, that's a lot. I mean, I've never had that many. Even after Telegraph Go rated me, I didn't have 80. But it's also, the numbers on chess.com, the top stream, they're so manipulated also, because they're gamed. And when chess.com has someone on their front page or their events page, they get sort of artificial views that way. So it's hard to use the chess like peaks. Yeah, Tulip. Yeah. Being in Australia, that's totally reasonable. Like, that's totally reasonable. And that's the thing, so supporting is not just like money thing or buying thing. It's just, that's why it's like the people who make the stream great, or are the people who, not to use whatever, the people who make the stream enjoyable and watchable. It's the people who contribute and talk. And well, I can use origami. I could translate it. I don't mind a Japanese page, because I'll use the translator. But yeah, it's tough. Without being down on it all. Because I love doing this. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy playing. I'm getting something out of it. Because I'm Koshiro, who hasn't been around as often as he used to, but Koshiro or I Dream Shogi or Alexi back in the old days, and everyone else who's been doing the same thing, are helping. I'm getting, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of times I'm getting like free lessons or free, to the point where I sometimes feel bad about it, that people are trying to help so much, and I'm so slow to improve from it. But it's, yeah. I don't know. It's just, it's tough. It's definitely tough, but it does sometimes make me think, well, I'm not working. Like I said, I am not working. The streaming, I've sort of half joked, is my job. It's a lot of, most of the days, these past couple weeks and next week, it's the first real sort of inconsistent blurb of my streaming life since I started in 2023. But I do think sometimes, like, do I keep doing this? Like, do I do this podcast? Like this is the reason why the podcast is slow to come, is because I just think like I'm gonna the podcast would be yet another level of effort and work. And it's like, do I want to do this if I'm not going to get any support for it? You know, there will be 10 people listening to this thing, or maybe 20 people listening to this thing. And do I want to do that? Because that's now we're talking, even not that these are no work, but like that would be, like I said, it would be a whole nother level of work and scripting and preparation and publication of these things and finding the sites to publish on and do all kinds of things. And I keep waiting to look for that one shred of sort of evidence that something will happen. And as Rico said, and I didn't respond to it, so I'm sorry, because I was talking as I was reading it. The U.S. Shogi Championship. Oh, so the comment was, the strangest thing to you was seeing how healthy the U.S. Championship was, and the vast majority of those players don't interact online at all. Yeah, and so it's, they don't interact at all. And I think about some of the people that I've met at the chess clubs, or the Shogi, so the Cupertino Chess Club, or the Silicon Valley Chess Club, and I just think, like, man, you know, I go to the club. I was going to the club a lot. I'm streaming. I don't even get support from the people that I know in person. Like, I'm barely getting. I don't know. I just think of, I think it's such a strange position to be in, because I think about, like, if I knew someone who was promoting shogi or trying to promote shogi and released a book or released, I don't know, a coffee cup or something like that. Even if I didn't like the coffee cup, you know, or even if I had no plans to buy the book, I'd buy it. I'd support like this fellow clubmate. But that doesn't seem to be a like a reciprocal thing, or maybe it's just me. And most people are they just want to they're just playing shogi for fun, and they want to get on with their day, and they don't care that someone is trying to do something in shogi. I don't know. I don't know, but it's just weird to me that that it's that way. It's just weird to me. And Transport, you say that's where Cairo stopped streaming too. Too much work for too little return. Yeah, and so that's the thing, is that when the person who's getting the most of this stuff, when the person who's getting the most views, the most likes, the most financial support is not doing it because there's too little return, what kind of signal is that to other people who are thinking of, oh, maybe I'll write this book, maybe I'll do this. There's an author. He writes mostly beginner books. The Seigo Sato, and I've talked about his books on this stream before. We've talked about the efforts he's doing. I've bought every single book of his that he's released, even though they're below my level, and they're not all that useful for me. But I've bought these books so that I could read them and maybe recommend them to other people. And because I want the idea that writing a book in English for shogi, maybe not profitable, but it's like, at least you get something for your efforts versus crickets. And I don't know how well he's doing. I don't know. He released another one recently on Fourth File Rook.
I'm actually probably going to read it in the next week or so, because that 4th of July stream that I'm planning on doing with Mariken Mukaibisha, it's going to be Mariken Mukaibisha and 4th Vile Rook, for July 4th. Seigo Sato tried streaming on Twitch a few times while I was gone. Oh, interesting. I didn't see that. I'm surprised. Maybe I'm not following him on Twitch. I thought I was. Or maybe I was just so wrapped up like in the graduation stuff. But yeah, so that's the thing is, he's a VTuber, which I think limits the audience. I think limits the audience tremendously. I think not having the camera, at least in modern Twitch Western streaming, it's a limiting factor if you're not talking and it's sort of engaging by way of camera, I think. But yeah, and the thing is, with streaming, you have to be willing to go months, with few to no viewers. It's just, I think that's just the way it is. Like, people seem like they're unwilling to, and understandably, like sometimes you become vested in these streams. Just like I'm talking about this podcast, where I don't want people to become vested in a podcast that's going to go away after 4 episodes. People get vested in a stream once they see that the streamer is consistent and likes what they're doing and is going to continue doing it. But like, if it's just a sort of one person has decided, I'm going to stream, I'm going to prop up my ego a bit and stream for a couple weeks, or a couple days. Not saying Seigo Sato was doing that by any means. People I think are savvy enough on Twitch and YouTube to, like, they take that with a grain of salt. They might not watch. So it's a tough few months. It's definitely a tough few months to get started. Sometimes it's faster for some people, obviously. Sometimes it's slower for some people. But yeah, like, it doesn't surprise me that Seigo Sato would not have many viewers yet, because it's a VTuber, and just they haven't built up the consistency. And yeah. Rico, you say you hope you can get reinvested in Shogi once your living situation gets sorted out. Yeah, I hope so too. Are you still thinking of being in the Seattle area? Your advice for the podcast: only commit to a single season of the podcast. Have a set amount of episodes you're going to do. Don't treat it like a professional podcast that just goes out until it peters out. So yeah. So that my thing has been, I want to have 6 months. My thing in my head is that I want to be able to have at least 6 months worth of weekly streams. So that's 25 episodes. 25 episodes basically. And 25 episode ideas. I would want that as much. And then if people aren't supporting, then they're not supporting, and they don't like it, or I'm aware of my own limitations. I don't think I'm the most interesting person ever, and certainly I'm not a strong player. I don't think being a strong player is required, for a lot to make an interesting and enjoyable podcast, especially when in a field where there are no existing podcasts. But anyway. Yeah, if I do that, then I can maintain the quality. Yeah, without worrying about how the support. Yeah. Okay, so you are going to be an hour south of Seattle by the end of the year at the latest. Awesome. So you'll be able. So you, Intelligent, ShogiExplained, of course, Time Zombie will be able to play at the Seattle Shogi Club. That would be cool. That would be very cool. I don't know where they play, how close that is. I drive an hour each way to go on my Sunday East Bay Shogi Club, but everyone's tolerance for having to drive an hour is different. It depends on the kind of driving. Like if that was, it's a beautiful drive out in the morning. It's a beautiful drive to beautiful smooth drive to go out in the morning to this place. It's at a nice coffee shop. It's just it's a great ritual. But if it was stop and go traffic both ways for over an hour, I might not have made that part of my regular routine. I realized I've had Urashino Sensei's thing up there the whole time. What's going on here with this? Okay. So I'm still 42 wins away. 42 wins away from getting that thing. Wait, what is this? There's a new Gyoku show? Is this a bug? Is this a bug here? Or is this is this maybe a team? Is this a team event? Is this the team Gyoku show? Ah, yes. So Ornolf is on. Ornolf is now in Gaijin-dan. Ornolf is now in Gaijin-dan. So we are really, we're like last month we got B2. This is oof. I'm not going to be good enough to qualify for the team anymore. I'm going to be my score is not going to be in the top 5 of our scores unless someone doesn't play. Fascinating. So yeah, we got take our look at them. We've got Koshiro, we've got Spinal Tap, we've got Ornolf, we've got Nin World, we've got I Dream of Shogi, and then we've got me. Oh, both players that didn't play last month left the group, so we do have a spot open. We have a spot open for a 7 or 8 Dan level player. Arpa and Agro, you ask, do you think kanji makes it hard to do viewable podcasts for new people? If so, we could use international sets. So I don't think it does. I'm not a big believer in the idea that the pieces affect long-term viability of like the Western shogi world, because I do think that the pieces are learned relatively easily. I don't think if someone wants to learn the pieces, they can do it in a day or so, of playing. So I don't think it's that big of a hurdle. It's tough. It's definitely tough, and I think it more prevents people from starting to play. It doesn't necessarily stop people from once they've started learning. And anyway, Shogi Wars does not really have an international piece set, even if I wanted to put it on there. They have a set that has letters, which I wouldn't be able to use, and I don't think people would be able to really make sense of that either. So I don't know. I tend to think no. Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson is either 7 or 8. He hasn't shown up. He hasn't been on my channel in a while. He's streaming though. He's getting up a nice audience on YouTube. I've watched every time I happen to see his stream is live. It's tough with Japan because our schedules don't line up. It's the middle of the night when I'm streaming, and it's sometimes the middle of the night when the Japanese players are streaming, or very early. Like Urashino Sensei is, when he's streaming, it's like 5, 6, 7 a.m. my time. Yeah, Mike_Tyson. Yeah, his stream is good. He also does not use it's funny because a lot of the Japanese streamers They don't use a camera, and sometimes it's just in the iPhone. It's just in the iPhone portrait layout. Yet they still get good numbers. I think the ones that do use cameras, will do better, but it doesn't seem to hurt them as much as it does in the West. Maybe that's just a cultural thing of privacy or whatnot. Like a chess player that doesn't use a camera, a chess streamer, they're not going to get any viewers. But yeah, his games are really interesting. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it'd be funny if he would join ours. Is he in a Kishidan? Well, he's not a gaijin though. We can make an exception. Wait, do I not have? Oh, okay. Oh, he's the first of my second page. 8 Dan, 3 minutes. 7 Dan, 10 second. Awesome. He's another one of these high level players who just doesn't waste their time with 10 minutes. Wow. Oh, he's not in a Kishidan. If you are watching this later, Mike_Tyson, if you're watching this later, feel free to send the request in to Gaijin Dan. No, Transport's trying to stir the pot. Transport's trying to cause chaos. Not true. He's American. He's American, just like the rest. Well, not the rest of us. Yeah, we've got a good. Gaijin Dan has a good international layout, a good international flair. We've got Brazil, America, Minnesota though. So north part of America. Germany, New York. So we've got West Coast, we've got East Coast, we've got Germany, we've got North Coast, we've got Midwest, and we've got Brazil. So basically all the non-Japanese world. How do you ask to join? You just you go to the club, and I think there's a link. Like if you go to my to my personal page, this will be clickable, and then I think there will be a button to request joining. We have spot for 1. But I only ask that if you are going to join, that during these events, like you play. That's the only that's the only kicker. Because this is serious business. We're getting awards. We're going to be one of the top, especially now with Ornal. We are going to be. We just got to win. In the moment I've been speaking, we just got another win. In another 0.05 points. Like, this is a legit Kishidan now. Yeah. Adrian Shogi, there you are. Hey, great to see you. So you got a win. Awesome. Yeah, we have Ornalt on, and Kochiro, great to see you. Yeah, the Kishidan just started. So Ornolf just joined yesterday, and the Kishidan started today. So right now, Gaijin Dan is 5-0. I think I have, I think I might have 4 of these wins. Oh, you're 3-0 for it. Okay, so it must have started because I'm 2-0 today. I'm 2-0 today. I was 2-0 yesterday as well. I'm 2-0 today. Yeah, so the third game I played today was against a viewer. Yeah. So with Ornolf now in the group, we are just yeah, he's gonna be getting 4 Don. He's gonna be getting 4+ Don level. So YKT and Takashima-san, they don't play Shogi Wars, right? How did your I didn't show you say you haven't been playing much. How did your Tsume challenge go? You know, a month without playing. Were you able to keep up with that? Because you weren't streaming. Oh, you only lasted 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks is better than nothing. It's hard to play. So that's the thing. That's one of the things that I've noticed is that when I am away for a day or so, I am really missing playing. I'm really missing it. Okay, you say you definitely got better. All right. Well, that's good. That means we're gonna get even more points. Shogi Wars Kishidan points. So we're B2 this last one. I definitely think we can be B1. But maybe even higher. Because yeah, so if we have the same level as last, Ornolf will replace me as a score getter, and Ornolf will get at least 3 points more than I will. So if I was getting 1 Dan level of points, he'll be getting 4.5. How did he get to 4 Dan? He's good. He's on an 8-win streak, if I'm not mistaken, or he was. He strolled into Shodan or 4 Dan. He went from 80% straight up, just straight without a loss. This is not what I wanted. Okay, so he's lost since. But I think he won on an 8-win streak. He promoted. Oh, he's played a lot. He plays a lot. This is one of the things I love about Ornolf, is that he plays a lot. I admire all the people who play a lot. Okay, so this I think was the rank up game. This must have been. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and there's the rank up. Yeah, so there's 8, and then did he lose his first game as a 4-dan? Yeah, so he lost his first game as a 4-dan. Lost first 2 games. Big Coke man. What is this? I've never seen this. Who is this? Oh, it's just I don't know who this is. Very exciting things. Very exciting. Anyway. All right. Whew. So I only played 3 games today. It's closing in on when I've got to start heading out. So I don't really have time for another game. So I think that'll just do it for me. Let me do a quiz. Yeah, Haku, it's so good. It's Haku Wo. So we'll do one of these. I'll do one of these to wind down. Oh, I remember this game. I remember this game. Today's wins were good. Today's wins were very good. Today was a win against a 1Q, a win against a Shodan, and a win against a demoting 2-dan. So I'll take it. I think the game's gameplay wise was pretty good. You clear areas, especially in Yose, to improve. But it was good. I think the over the board games, I think they do help a lot. I don't know what other if people agree with that, but I think I do grow from those over the board games a little more than I grow from playing, a single game over the board seems to level me up a little bit more than a single game online. 1 game per hour. Well, 1.1 game per hour. So it's still not 3 hours yet. Yeah, very low count. Well, somehow the discussion took off. The discussion was great. I was not expecting that. I didn't think we'd have anything to talk about today. I'm just going to throw this out here. Yeah, Gabrielle said that you played like 5 games. Yes, on Saturday. Don't mind. Yeah. Yeah, he's becoming he's an experimenter. He's definitely an experimenter. I think I did this. I think in the game I did this. Okay, well, I guess I didn't. What did I do? Huh. Okay, I could see that. Wait, so how bad was that? Okay, it went 74% versus 96. Okay, the best move was here. Ah. Well, so that means he's gonna... Interesting. So it's calling this 90%. It's calling this a 95% advantage. Was this a 3-minute game? Oh, this 10-second game. Okay. Okay, well. Oh, it does come back. Well, yeah, you say easy win. So these are the kinds of games I've been losing in 3 minutes. So I've been winning so many 3-minute, like I've gone from like 20% up to basically around 90%, I think now. I'm just winning. And the games I'm losing, I'm just barely getting beaten on time. Like in positions like this where my Yose is just a little too slow. I'm taking too long to make the win. And my opponent will have like 3 seconds and I'll have no seconds. And then I'll just time out. Because I'm playing on mobile, so I'm playing fast. I can play fast. I can play fast, but still, you have to be able to finish the game. And some of them I'm just not finishing. But they're good games. So like it's the least disappointing. It's the least disappointing dirty flags possible. Some of these 3-minute losses. Also, like I said before, I don't really want to rank up in 3 minutes because I use 3-minute. I use 3-minute games to get my winning streak avatars. So the more I rank that up, the harder it's going to be to get those streaks. Anyway, all right. My voice is so dry. When you're up big, you think defensive moves are fine. Well, you say that, but my opponent will start just making defensive moves too. It becomes that time rush. And it becomes so slow to try to make the mate. Especially, it's like a lot of these mates require making a sacrifice or making some sort of tactic. And so it might take me 2 seconds per move to think versus my opponent who might only need to think 1 second per move. And they're going to just start leveling out. Yeah, the engine hates it, but you have a lower exposure to your king. Yeah. And I think this was a 10-second game. I think in 10-second games, that is even more true. I think what you're saying is even more true. And I did change my play style in those 10 seconds to be sort of like that, where like that last position. Yes, I could have defended by doing the taking 2 generals for my rook. But I thought it was safer to add one more piece there. And maybe it's not ideal, but it did feel safer, especially since in 10 seconds, you've got to come up with a move. And the trick seems to be not making the catastrophic move. Some of those 10-second games, it's like, obviously you're not going to get flagged. You have to make moves. Just make sure especially if you're winning, just make sure you don't make the catastrophic move, which is what I would do in the past, where, I still do, I'm sure. But like, don't try to rush the win. 3-minute games, you sort of have to rush the win at times. But anyway, like I said, I am so dry. I should have gotten a water 2 hours ago. When the discussion started. But thank you, everybody. I hope I will see you tomorrow. I'm not, like I said, everything is up in the air for this week and next week I'll be in New Jersey and New York and potentially in New York for one of the days. But I'll be in New Jersey and that's it. So Hope to see you soon. Thank you as always for all the support. You all are awesome. You make the stream so enjoyable. It's so fun to chat. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the subscribes. I appreciate the conversation and the help. And without you all, like I would have stopped doing this a while ago. So thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your shogi, and take care. Bye.